Dr. Gordon. Dr. Lawrence Gordon crawls out of the bathroom and disappears. For years, fans believed Saw had left one of its biggest mysteries unresolved. At the end of the original Saw, Gordon cuts off his own foot and escapes. Blood covers the floor. The bathroom door slams shut. Game over. But one detail immediately stood out. We never see Gordon die. That missing ending became one of the franchise's longest-running theories. Fans spent years debating Gordon's fate across horror forums and Saw communities. The discussion kept returning to the same clue. The franchise never actually confirmed his death. Whenever a new apprentice appeared, the theory resurfaced. Then fans noticed something stranger. Some traps looked like they needed a doctor. Surgeries. Precise injuries. Victims kept alive just long enough to play the game. Maybe Gordon survived. Possibly he was helping from the shadows. The strange part wasn't that Gordon disappeared. The strange part was how easily he still fit into the story. Explicit truth. Confirmed in Saw 3D. By the time Saw 3D arrived, Gordon's survival theory had become one of the franchise's most discussed mysteries. The film finally revealed that Gordon survived the bathroom trap and became one of Jigsaw's secret apprentices. He later helps punish Hoffman by locking him inside the original bathroom. The missing doctor didn't escape the game. He became part of it. Once fans realized an accomplice could stay hidden for years, the rules behind Ghostface suddenly looked far less predictable. Ghostface. Ghostface was never one person. Long before Scream 6, fans started wondering whether the franchise had been limiting itself the entire time. The Scream movies trained audiences to expect a pattern. Mostly two killers, sometimes one. Then the mask comes off. Mystery solved. But Ghostface was different from most horror villains. Ghostface isn't a person, it's a role. Anyone can wear the costume. That detail became the center of years of fan discussion. Horror forums, Reddit threads, and Scream communities repeatedly explored the same question. If multiple people could share the identity, why stop at two? Fans broke down attack scenes, alibis, and timelines across the franchise. The more they examined the formula, the more arbitrary the two-killer limit seemed. 3 killers could explain overlapping movements. 3 killers could create stronger alibis. 3 killers could make Ghostface harder to identify than ever before. The strange part wasn't that Ghostface could be anyone. The strange part was that the franchise had never fully explored the possibilities of its own idea. Explicit truth, confirmed in Scream 6. After years of fan discussion and speculation, Scream 6 finally revealed Detective Bailey, Ethan, and Quinn as 3 active Ghostface killers working together. For the first time in the main series, the reveal involved 3 killers instead of the traditional 1 or 2. The mask never belonged to one person, and eventually the franchise stopped treating it that way. Another modern horror icon raises a far stranger question, whether he was human at all. Art the Clown. Art the Clown begins as a brutal serial killer. Then he does something that should end every horror movie immediately. He dies. In the first Terrifier, Art looks terrifying, but human. He stalks his victims, he tortures them, he kills them. Then the police corner him. Art pulls out a gun, shoots himself, and dies. The story should be over. Instead, Art comes back. Walking again. Killing again. That ending immediately sparked speculation. Horror forums filled with theories. YouTube breakdowns dissected the final scenes. Horror websites covering the film kept returning to the same question. If Art died, how was he still here? Fans began searching for answers. Possibly Art wasn't human, or something supernatural was keeping him alive. As discussion around Terrifier grew, interviews with director Damien Leone fueled even more speculation. Leone repeatedly spoke about Art as something more than a traditional slasher villain, encouraging fans to look beyond a purely human explanation. The strange part wasn't that Art returned. The strange part was that his resurrection felt like the beginning of the story, not the end. Explicit truth. Confirmed in Terrifier 2 and expanded in Terrifier 3. After years of fan theories, media discussion, and speculation surrounding Art's resurrection, Terrifier 2 revealed that his return was connected to a mysterious demonic entity. Later films expanded that connection even further. The clown stopped being terrifying because he killed people, and started being terrifying because death couldn't stop him. While Art's story pointed towards supernatural forces, This legendary monster seemed connected to something even more deliberate, its own creation. The Xenomorph. The Xenomorph looked like the perfect killing machine. Long before the prequels arrived, fans started wondering whether something had designed it that way. The original alien leaves behind a mystery, a crashed ship, strange eggs, a dead space jockey, and a creature unlike anything humanity has ever seen. But the movie never explains where the Xenomorph came from. That question fueled decades of speculation. Fans dissected the derelict ship. Forum discussions focused on the giant pilot found inside. Sci-fi and horror communities debated whether the creature was truly natural or part of something much larger. The Xenomorph didn't feel random. It felt engineered. What if it wasn't simply an alien species? What if it was a biological weapon? Something designed rather than discovered? Ridley Scott's interviews about the engineers and humanity's creators fueled even more debate. Articles and fan discussions increasingly connected the mysterious space jockey from alien to a larger engineered origin for the creature. The strange part wasn't how deadly the Xenomorph was. The strange part was how much its existence seemed tied to a bigger design. Explicit truth. Strongly supported in Prometheus, Alien Covenant, and later franchise material. Rather than presenting the Xenomorph as a simple natural organism, the prequel films connected its origins to the engineers, black goo experimentation, and David's biological experiments. The exact origin remains debated, but the franchise moved strongly toward the idea that the creature was shaped through deliberate creation rather than ordinary evolution. The monster wasn't just hunting its victims, it may have been somebody's project. Once one franchise revealed a hidden architect behind its monster, another horror series revealed the person who helped create Ghostface itself. Roman Bridger. Billy Loomis and Stu Macher wore the Ghostface masks, but even after the original Scream, some fans felt there were still missing pieces to the story. The first film appears to explain everything. Billy and Stu are the killers, the mystery is solved. Case closed. Yet one character continued to loom over the franchise, Maureen Prescott. Sydney's mother sits at the center of Billy's motive. Her affair with Billy's father sets the tragedy in motion, but the original film reveals very little about her life before her death. That unanswered history sparked years of discussion. Fans debated whether the Woodsboro murders were connected to a larger story involving Maureen's past. Articles and franchise discussions often pointed to her as the biggest unanswered question left behind by the original film. The strange part wasn't who committed the murders. The strange part was how much of the motive seemed to come from events the audience never witnessed. Explicit truth, confirmed in Scream 3. The third film revealed that Roman Bridger, Sidney Prescott's half-brother, had secretly shown Billy footage of Maureen's affairs and helped fuel the anger that led to the original murders. Roman was not a third killer in the original Scream. Billy and Stu wore the masks. But Roman helped create the motive that started everything. The first Ghostface killers carried out the murders, but someone else helped set the tragedy in motion. The next one is beyond hidden masterminds, but a mystery that seemed to connect two legendary horror universes together. Jason. Jason Voorhees survives things that should be impossible. The explanation may have been hiding in plain sight the entire time. Jason dies, then he comes back. Throughout the Friday the 13th franchise, he gets shot, blown apart, drowned, burned, and seemingly destroyed again and again. Yet somehow, he always returns. Most fans accepted it as simple horror movie logic. Then Jason Goes to Hell introduced a strange detail. Inside the old Voorhees house sits the Necronomicon, the cursed Book of the Dead from the Evil Dead franchise. The scene lasts only seconds. No one mentions it, but fans noticed. They paused the scene frame by frame. Screenshots spread across horror forums. Articles and theory videos debated the book's significance for years. The same question kept appearing. Why would the Necronomicon be inside the Voorhees house? Maybe it wasn't an Easter egg. Maybe Jason's resurrections were connected to the same dark forces that create Deadites. The strange part wasn't that Jason survived. The strange part was that the possible explanation had been sitting on a shelf the entire time. Explicit truth, supported by director Adam Marcus's later explanation of Jason Goes to Hell. Years after the film's release, Marcus explained that his intention was that Pamela Voorhees used the Necronomicon to resurrect Jason after his death. This never became fully established crossover canon between Friday the 13th and Evil Dead. But long before Marcus addressed it, fans had already connected the clue to Jason's impossible resurrections. The answer was never hidden inside a kill scene, it was hidden inside the house.